This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 706. It's almost Christmas.
And you're back.
And I'm back. Hey, thank you for being here. I had a horrible day last week, and it's not gotten much better. It's been the same day since. But slowly but surely, parenthood is not all sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes it's kick in the crotch. That lasts 8 hours. Over and over again. Kick. So, yeah. Hey, that was Chris with me. Also, John.
Yo.
Don.
Hello.
Matt.
Hey.
Diecast.
Hang on, Don. Come on. Come back to us.
And Rob.
Hello.
So is this gonna be Don's gimmick now? Every week when he's introduced, he's just gonna answer in some different weird way.
Top of the morning to you. Yeah, that'd be great.
I think it's awesome because you know what it means? It means we're talking about Don.
Yeah.
So it's part of the plan.
Yeah.
Don. I thought you weren't going to be here this week.
I wasn't. Some things slightly changed, and I'm tired. I am
Are you going to be with us next week, or
Brian begged him to be on to save our viewership.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, next week, probably not, because it's going to be a very, very busy week for me.
Well, then everybody watching should consider it your Christmas gift from us that Don is here this week.
Hey, my Christmas gift to you guys. Hey, you know what's going to happen in 2 weeks?
It's a Christmas album.
2020 year in review.
Oh no, that's already the Christmas album is already out, Chris.
Damn.
Has anybody listened to it?
No,
not yet. It's in my feed.
I very pleased with the 12 Days of Christmas. I've gotten great feedback on that, so that's the one, the highly produced one with the skits. So, but yeah, so hey, everybody should check it out. Put a lot of time into it. Unfortunately, it was late because kids and crap. But we're gonna have our. I'm thinking of making an executive decision. If you guys want to shoot it down, shoot it down. The 2020 year in review. Normally, we pre-produce that. But like,
we are not doing that live.
You don't want to do it live? Relatively speaking, there's so little to talk about compared to
Good. It will go fast for us in pre-production, and then we can go to bed.
Okay, so that's what we'll do.
I seem to recall we kept it to a manageable level last year.
Yeah, last year it was like the length of a normal show, more or less.
Good. Let's keep it that way.
Yeah, let's continue that tradition.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess what we'll do is we'll figure out a time between now and the 6th to record it, and we'll post it. But as we do every year, we just recap all the stories worth talking about, and we review our predictions that we made in early 2020 and see who was correct, or most correct, when it came to...
Yeah, well, who could have predicted most of what this year turned out to be?
Yeah, I know. So we'll see how that goes. Man, I think we could do it in a live stream. I think it was like 2 hours last year instead of like 75 hours.
I guess, like, on the bright side, if you do decide to persist with this madness, we can just, like, do our best to make you regret it and never try again.
Hey, there you go. So we'll talk about it.
That's what I'm afraid of.
What are you thinking, Don?
Well, saying hello.
You gotta figure out what weeks to not be here.
No. You just, you mentioned me saying hello in different languages and different ways of doing it. And actually, Google Translate will translate into Klingon.
Yeah.
But can you pronounce Klingon, Don?
We'll do Vulcan.
I had 3 years of high school French. I can mangle any language.
Okay, I mean, when you put it that way.
Yeah, there you go.
And, I mean, you haven't experienced RFC until Don's recited it in the original Klingon.
Oh, Night sort of saying make the patrons decide. I could make that a poll.
Choose your own adventure.
Choose your own adventure. I like that.
Oh, I hated those. I always got the worst crappy result.
As a kid, I had 2 of those books, and one of them was misprinted. So you could never finish. You could never finish the story. It was bound wrong.
This is the book that never ends.
And
It
when
never ends.
when I was like 6, it was kind of hard to tell. You know, it was like, I know you're supposed to turn from page to page, but it's like it repeated like halfway through. It's like the book just was like yeah. So I was kind of burnt out on those. Find Your Fate Juniors, which implies that they're regular Find Your Fate books.
Yeah, I always wondered about that, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe there's like Find Your Fate Young Adult,
Yeah. YA.
and that's the difference.
Oh man. Okay. So let's see here. What are those good? Hey. So speaking of patrons, we have our weekly podcast, History on the Fives. We are about to move into years ending in 1 and 6. Basically, we will look back 5 years to see what was going 5, 10, 15, etc. years. Really enjoying doing that. We're having folks on as a perk for the patrons at the touch tier. You can be on. If you're listening and you're a patron at that tier and you want to be on, just hit me up. I'm thinking I'm just gonna keep adding people as long as people are available when we record. I am not opposed to having them all on. It started off the first one when we had like 5 people on. It was a little bit of a challenge, but it's gotten to where the flow on it's really good. And I'm actually really enjoying doing that. So, yeah, let's see what kind of beautiful train wreck we can create. If you are interested, just hit me up and I'll let you know when we record and what you need to do. So
Be sure to have a microphone, like a
have a
decent one.
Have a decent headset. You don't have to have a great headset. You don't have to have a beautiful Don Ferguson Audio Technica headset, but have a decent headset.
I mean, at a minimum,
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
At a minimum, headphones are a requirement.
You will definitely have to at least have headphones and a decent microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like no fan blowing right on your microphone or anything like that. And you can't
also, if you can hold your breath for extended periods of time, that's also a plus.
Controlling your breath is something that you learn to do, unless you're Don. Kidding.
Or like me, and I do it for effect.
Yeah. Don't like be eating pork rinds while you're recording.
Can.
Yeah.
Good advice.
So, let's see here, but yeah. So I kind of want to do something special next week, but for the holidays. I don't know.
But the holidays is the day after tomorrow.
Well, yeah, but like just general. There's holidays all the way through January. I'm hoping next week, like all this pain that we've gone through with all these pre-orders coming in, I'm hoping next week it will be slow like that. Used to be that we would throw topics and questions to the chat. I'm thinking about maybe trying to do that next week. If you're in the Discord, tfradio.net/Discord, maybe it's an episode where we just chat and joke and answer questions.
We did a little of that in pre-show last week, actually, when me and Rob were waiting for anybody else to show up. It was, basically like a impromptu Ask the Toy Detectives thing.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah,
Worked out pretty well.
we used to do that like routinely, like once a month or so. I think we should do that next week, just for fun. So, for funsies. We only have like one real news item to talk about this week, but I have so much crap to talk about, and Chris has something.
Yes, I also have things.
Chris has something I really want to hear his thoughts on, so I think we're gonna pretty much.
I have other things you'll hear my thoughts on too.
Oh, cool. Okay, very cool. Let's just jump into the news. Chris posted in the RSE News Desk episode 125 about this.
Which was a sequel to 124, pretty much.
So 124 was about the core class Bumblebee figure and Spike that popped up. This is more Buzzworthy Bumblebee toys outside of War for Cybertron, like Studio Series, etc., that popped up. Chris, why don't you just fill us in on...
Okay, so let's flash back to the previous news desk with the Buzzworthy Bumblebee's first look thing, which, for at least the purposes of our knowledge of it, is a completely new mold with a new mold little accessory figure.
Mm-hmm.
So that has actually been found listed in Target's inventory system. So we now know Target will be carrying that, and that's going to be $14.99, which is exactly where I said it was going to land price-wise. So yay for me. But all the stuff that we've discovered since then, In-Demand Toys shared a lot more stock photo assets, which is where most of this comes from, and everything else we have found out about has just been repacks of existing toys. So there is a whole deluxe Studio Series assortment coming up for repackaged figures. One of them is not technically out in a normal assortment yet and won't be for a little while because, like, where it's falling in the numbering and how the assortments are laid out, it'll be due after the Studio Series 86 Deluxes hit. So it may be like a debut toy in Buzzworthy Bumblebee, depending when these deluxes start hitting stores. So in this, there is the Studio Series 16 Camaro, the classic Camaro Bumblebee. That's the one that came in the larger set with the Charlie minifigure, which I think previously was a Target exclusive. I may be misremembering that because Studio Series is not one of the things they pay a super lot of attention to. So that's getting repackaged for Buzzworthy Bumblebee. The World War II Bumblebee, the green armored car, is going to be repackaged. Car mode Shatter, and then the Revenge of the Fallen style modern Camaro Bumblebee with the Spike minifigure. So all that stuff is getting put in Buzzworthy Bumblebee packaging and released wherever this is coming out, which I strongly assume at this point it's Target exclusive subline.
So, gosh, it's been forever since I watched Bumblebee. Why does Charlie come with Camaro Bumblebee?
Because at the end of the movie, spoilers, Bumblebee scans into a Camaro and then leaves her behind. So it's not really like the best example, but you have to assume that's probably something that was going to work a little bit differently in an earlier draft of the movie, the same way at one point Barricade was going to be in the movie and then was not at all. So, you know, that probably had more of a role in an earlier draft, and the toy line being the way it is just kind of had to roll with it. Same reason Car Mode Shatter's head doesn't look like the character does in the movie, because that's based on an earlier piece of concept art before they finalized the movie models. So right after these stock photos were posted, someone actually found at a Target in Wisconsin a Mega One-Step Changer Bumblebee based on that's a reuse of an Age of Extinction toy. It even has Age of Extinction branding alongside the Buzzworthy Bumblebee on the packaging. So this is hitting all kinds of price points, and while it's movie heavy right now, I'll be really surprised if there's not some Cyberverse stuff coming along in it at some point, probably like Warrior or Scout class toys, just to kind of vary up the price points they're hitting. But, you know, having the evergreen style Bumblebee art on the packaging prominently makes me think this is, you know, a best of Bumblebee kind of thing, and not like this is a movie repackaging line also with this one additional thing to tie into the other current line.
Do you think it's possible that Netflix Bumblebee gets another run through this at some point?
No, I don't think so, because if that was going to be the case, I think they would have reused the Studio Series Volkswagen B toy.
That's true.
So I think this is probably another, like, let's not pay more licensing to Volkswagen this month.
Yeah, that makes sense. Which is a shame, because I never got that, and I wouldn't mind having a copy just to have. But
that can't be that hard to find for basically retail, I wouldn't think.
Last time I looked, there was a little bit of markup on that particular one, but it's been a while. Maybe that's changed.
So I really do think this is probably going to be a Target exclusive line. When we saw that first toy a couple weeks ago, or whenever that was, I was saying, like, the styling of the packaging is very similar to the Bumblebee exclusive toys Target had in 2018 to coincide with the Bumblebee movie. And that core class Bumblebee and this Mega One-Step Changer have both been found via Target in one way or another. So, like, it's not conclusive evidence, but it's more strongly supporting the supposition. And we do tend to get batches of Transformers exclusives, sometimes smaller, sometimes bigger, like this, around the start of the year. So this does kind of track with what we normally would expect.
Yeah.
Cool.
Meanwhile, just like doing straight up repackagings of Studio Series toys, they're not even like renumbered. It's the same number as these toys had in their original releases. It's also very consistent with what Target is doing right now with their supposedly exclusive Power Rangers Lightning Collection toys, which are just regular assortment Lightning Collection toys in different packaging.
So I don't
So
have to
it's-
worry about
They're
buying.
shiny.
Yes, aren't they just? So like it's following that pattern as well, which is also leading me to think this is a specifically Target thing.
Cool. Okay. That's the news. That's really boy.
Happy
That's-
holidays.
Happy holiday.
That's the news for which we can like, investigate ourselves and like, bring you more than just like this thing is happening according to one source.
Yeah.
So I had a question for everyone. I don't know if it's a good topic or not, but is there a Transformer that you got for Christmas that is like a memorable or your most memorable Transformer you got for Christmas?
No.
No?
Not one? You don't remember one, Brian.
No.
I think Brian is quick to dismiss this just because like the one memory he has shared with us of a Transformer he got at Christmas is like not a good story.
I don't even remember the story.
I have a pretty good memory of getting Power Master Optimus Prime one year.
No. So that laser beak. Gosh, which line was that diecast that you sent me? The pink laser beak. That's the.
That would have been from Dark of the Moon.
Yeah.
Technically.
But
United or something, was it?
I thought it was a subline. Yeah. So that's the only thing I can remember getting a Transformer for Christmas.
Yeah, the pink laser beak Bumblebee was an exclusive, I think.
It's a Karatomi. I'm looking at it. I
Might have
don't
been.
know what-
I think it might have been an exclusive from the movie The Best line, which
Yeah.
Movie The
was
Best.
what Takara had
yeah.
immediately preceding Studio Series being a thing.
Yeah, you're right.
In,
I'm
in
looking
terms
at it,
of
I'm like MB, that
Mhm.
has an MB on it.
But yeah,
so
in
either
terms
movie The Best or Milton Bradley, and since it's not from Europe, it's not a Milton Bradley Transformer.
Yeah.
Yes. But no, in terms of holiday memories related to Transformers, I know I've gotten a few over the years, but the memory that stands out the most is sadly not a positive one either. Just because, so one year, like the year that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 came out, that game was fairly expensive because, as we've talked about before, occasionally video games would go over $60 in the 90s. Wherever my parents found it, it was definitely over $60. Meanwhile,
Probably KB Toys.
meanwhile, all of Generation 2 was on clearance. So my brother got, and so were a bunch of other toy lines at the time. So my brother got G2 Optimus Prime and Megatron, the entire Incredible Crash Dummies line, and I got
Oh.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which I knew was what I was getting. So, yeah, that was a thing.
No, I remember a couple good Transformers Christmases. I got the year I got Rodimus Prime and Cup and Blur. Another year I got Power Master Optimus Prime, like I said. Yeah, there were a couple good Transformers years for me.
Okay,
Yeah,
so my immediate family stopped celebrating Christmas specifically after 1991. Their logic was, do you want to wait until the end of the year and get a bunch of stuff all at once, or do you want us to just like buy you one or two things every month the whole year long? And like any, decently intelligent 8-year-old is going to say, yes, give me all the things all year. But so I missed Transformers being a thing for Christmas time, but Ninja Turtles, yeah. So 1990 and 1991 was two giant piles of Ninja Turtles toys, both Christmases. The sewer playset in the Christmas of 90, and actually I got the Technodrome in the summer of 91.
Jealous.
So like for Christmas 91, the turtle pile was just like some of the mid-sized vehicles and a bunch of the figures. So not Transformers, but I had my memorable, fun toy-related Christmases.
Yeah.
And that's about as early as I can remember for that kind of thing.
I remember I remember getting for Christmas one year Perceptor and Jetfire and Scorponok. And I remember opening up the Jetfire, and my mom said she had never seen a look of disappointment on somebody's face because I had pointed out that I wanted the Aerial Bot gift set.
Oh, Don.
And
Poor Don.
again, combiners was still this new thing. It was the first
Yeah.
Autobot
You lucked
combiner, and
Obviously, you have them all now, but still.
Well,
You got the
yeah.
better toy.
No, I didn't, because my mom was nice enough and took me back to Toys R Us the day after Christmas, and I got on my hands and knees and I dug through all of the Jetfires, and I found one Aerial Bot gift set, and I was able to swap it out at the store.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sucker.
So
And then after you opened it up, you went back to Toys R Us and traded it back out for the
actually, no. I mean, I wanted because we were just coming off of the Keto Vector Sigma, not horribly long before that, and during the summer, I had picked up the Stunticon gift set at Sears catalog outlet for $17.
So, Don.
So I needed the
Never
Aerial
mind.
Bot gift set.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How much-
Don, for our viewers who are under 40, can you explain a Sears catalog outlet?
Yeah. Well, Sears used to have a outlet store where they sent all their old stuff, scratched, dent, banged up, whatever the case may be. And I went there one time, and I got a Metroplex for 20. And no. I could have got the Metroplex for 20, but I only had enough to get either Metroplex or the Stunticon set. So I got the Stunticon set because, again, Combiners was still this new thing. And I wanted Metro, but I only had enough money. So I went back a couple days later, and the Metroplex, the few they had were gone. And then either I think it was the year after that, I got Scorponok. And that was really important to me because that made me want to save enough money. So for my birthday in June the following year, I had saved up enough. I had saved up about $85. And I went to Toys R Us on a Sunday after I was at the flea market selling stuff. And they had one Fortress Maximus. The only one I've ever seen in the stores. So I asked the lady behind the counter to hold it, drove back home, got the money I'd saved up, asked Mom to borrow $20 till I got paid again the following week, drove back and bought my Fortress Maximus off the shelf.
Nice.
So it'd be all because I got Scorponok for the Christmas before.
I do kind of want to chime in here, just because I too am old to a certain degree.
Aren't we all?
Sears was at one point in the history of this country was huge.
Yes.
They were a mail order. They were profitable. They were a mail order service that was arguably as large and as important to the country as Amazon is now.
Easily.
There were a lot of products that were produced like in special packaging and in special engine batches just for Sears. There are, you go back far enough, there are, Star Wars things just put in specifically in mailer boxes for Sears. They're with custom mailer boxes with Kenner branded baggies inside. I got those for Christmas one year because it just occurred to me listening to Don that my parents probably picked that up at the Sears catalog outlet a couple of blocks from my grandmother's house. And also, of course, Sears had their own branded Atari 2600 for the first couple of years that was around.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah,
Sears actually sold kit houses, and we have like 2 or 3 in this area.
Were those the ones designed by Edison?
What? Not
Edison-
too far off, probably.
Edison designed kit houses that were basically concrete. You would place the mold up and then pour them.
But yeah, we have 2 or 3 in this area that were Sears kit houses. So you just, like order your house from Sears.
Yeah,
I'd like to
Sears
see
was
that
the
sometime.
everything store in this country
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
40 years ago.
my dad broke a Craftsman wrench trying to repair his truck, his engine block. He took the broken wrench back to Sears, and they said, "Here, here's a new one." Just gave him a brand new wrench because the Craftsman, that lifetime warranty.
Other
if it breaks,
companies do
you
that
get
too,
it.
Don.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, they were the first one to actually. I think they were the first ones to actually start sort of.
Yeah, I
that
think
was
you're
their
right.
big thing was the big thing at the time. But no, I remember. Brian, you probably remember them. Brindles.
Yeah, they were
Another
based out of-
Brindles.
Based out of Elkin, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found my 6-shot in the box for $25 on clearance there. And Zayres, if you remember Zayres.
They still exist.
Yeah. Well, I bought Shockwave for $15 in the box. So yeah, it's good. I remember buying GoBots at KB for $1.98 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually remember any Transformers for Christmas. Because when I was very young, didn't have money for that stuff. But I do remember, like, it's funny, like Chris, one year I got a box, just a huge wrapped box, and I opened up the box and it was full of Ninja Turtles. So that's funny that we have like a similar Christmas memory.
Which is weird because when I was in high school, I was working at K&K Toys, and which was the predecessor to KB Toys, and that was when the Ninja Turtles first came out. And we would open up a case and literally just stand back and let them grab them out of the box off the floor because we couldn't even get them on the shelf.
Wow. While you guys are talking about your memories, I'm checking out eBay looking for toys to buy. So
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, Brian. I think I remember 2 Christmases, and I don't think, like, looking back, well, I was going to say I don't remember getting lots of Transformers, but I probably got the average amount or the above average amount of Transformers that a normal child gets. I'm just not, getting everything in the catalog for sure. But I do remember getting Trypticon one year and Scorponok another year. And I definitely still remember, like, unpacking Scorponok from all the styrofoam and immediately losing half those accessories, but also having him, like, forever. He's got to be somewhere in a box somewhere. I still have him somewhere, and there's only like 4 or 5 toys that have survived from my childhood that I still have. I still have like a rusted out Grimlock somewhere that I would use as a bathtub toy, because he sure looks safe for the bath. But I did it anyway. He's there. He's somewhere in here.
Wait, which toy was it that you used in the bath?
Grimlock.
So my childhood Trypticon, which I still have, it's been in the bath with me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my Grimlock, he's either missing his tail or his dinosaur head. I can't remember which one, but one side of him is just lopped off. Anyway, so my other holiday memory actually is, and I don't know if it was the same year. I assume it was. Is KB Toy Store having like this wall or this stack of Trypticons near the front of the store? So it was like 2 or 3 boxes high. And I can still remember what KB sounds like, which is like the wind-up doll, of the wind-up dogs, and like the little battery.
Oh yeah.
Or the helicopter or plane that's mounted in the ceiling, just kind of whirling around.
Mm-hmm.
But that kind of like mechanical sound is like what I think of and remember with KB. Not music per se, but just like the sounds of toys.
And the little ball toy with the raccoon tail that was always spinning around in the hula hoop there at the front of the store.
Yes. So mall kiosks still kind of have that stuff just to like get you to look. But yeah, KB was full of all that nonsense like at the front. Same idea, just to get you to kind of like glance over. But yeah, I mean, those are my memories. Those 2 big Decepticon sets, and then just KB.
It's KB's version of arcade music, basically.
Yeah, for sure. And then I guess not all of them, but some of them did have like the toy soldier at the front just as a statue. Those are fancy KBs. But all of them had just the yapping dogs just to get you to come over.
Yeah, so actually the Technodrome I got in the summer of '91 came from a KB Toys at the Woodfield Mall outside of Chicago. Second largest mall in America at the time.
Cool.
KB actually is where my first Transformers came from too. All about mini vehicles and Devastator both.
My first Transformer Mirage came from a toy store that I have no idea what the name of it was. I need to talk to some friends that are older to see if they remember the name of it. This toy store wasn't there for very long. The building it was in, I think, was eventually torn down and the lot was used for a drugstore. But it's just memory. I'd like to go back and just at least know the name of the place. It was just this local tiny little store. I don't remember a thing about it. I remember buying G.I. Joes. Don, I don't know if you remember Western Auto. I think we've talked about that. I bought G.I.
I'm no
Joe.
stranger to these parts.
Yeah, I bought G.I. Joes there. But my first Transformers, that little toy store that, God help me, I have no idea what it was called. I have no real memories of it. My Masters Universe came from Rose's. Nice. Yeah, those are still around here. They are not a place you really want to go to, but they are still around.
Yeah, they're. Well, see, again, with Brian and I being older, that we remember before Walmart, Kmart, and Rose's was the place to go.
Not
that
Walmart didn't exist; it just didn't exist in these parts.
Right. Well, heck, the Rose's is the only place I ever saw Deluxe Decepticons in stock. The only place I ever saw Deluxe Decepticons on the shelf.
Don, was Sky City a chain, or was it just a store that was local to me?
No, we had one too. I bought Strafe at Sky City because it was the last of the Technobots that I needed, and they only had one Technobot there, and I needed Strafe, and it was $4.49, and Mom got it for me so it would complete the set.
Cool. Yeah, that was. I remember going there, and I was just so impressed with their selection of G.I. Joe stuff.
Well, we had a little variety store in town. It was a little J&J 5 and 10 or something along those lines. I went in there like 2 or 3 times ever. I bought 90% of my carded Visionaries figures there for like $4 a piece. They were just sitting on a peg hook, and now they're some of my most prized possessions as carded Visionaries figures. The rest of them I got at best.
So I'm deleting my items on my watch list.
I got more.
I got a so Z75 sales. They've had that G2 Minosaur setting up there for $23,000 for months now, and it's on my watch list. And they sent me an offer on it today or yesterday, and I need to get it off my watch list so they'll stop sending me offers on it because I don't want to accidentally bite on it. Because I would accidentally bite on it and not be able to pay for it. So,
well, the way eBay is anymore, no harm would come to you from that. It would just
for a while. Yeah, somebody yesterday made an offer on one of the things I have up for sale, and immediately I accepted it because it was within the range. It's like, hey, sorry, bud, I just bought one, and I would be like, yeah, from me.
Yeah. Oh, Brian Ness in the chat says Rose's is like a Big Lots that gave up on being a store.
Rose's used to be legit.
Oh, yeah, 'cause I remember going to a Rose's, and now this is going to tie into the TF Con we were at in DC last time. Do y'all remember? It was back near Bobby Skullface's table. The guy that had the Mr. Hard Hat gift set.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
The old rim. It was. I can't remember who made it.
I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah. I saw that in a Rose's. It was an original mold, but it was like a KO kind of Devastator thing. And I saw that at a Rose's. I saw the Zybots gift set. I saw so much stuff now that is considered holy grails to a lot of people, just sitting on shelves at Rose's.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? I want to jump into what we got this week.
Yes, we've gone afield here a little bit.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, because I have a ton of stuff. Do you mind if I go first? I want to save Chris for
Go ahead.
last. Chris normally goes first when he has stuff.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I don't think you have anything that's going to spoil what I've
no,
got
but
going
I
on.
really want to hear your thoughts on the one thing. So if you don't mind, I'm just
Yeah,
going
I
through.
figured.
So Kim picked me up this authentic Starscream. I don't know if I have it or not, but what I love about the authentic stuff is they cost nothing basically. So if I have it, who cares? And I can throw it in the Toys for Tots box next year. I just love that they're so cheap that the back of the cards are in black and white.
Oh
Have you happened to look at the Masters of the Universe Mega Constructs single figures recently?
Oh, they're black and white as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of that one makes me kind of sad, and that's like on newsprint, all quality cardboard.
But yeah, I mean, it's just the difference of they have not waxed the.
Yeah, this
back
is not glossy. This
face
is
of it.
glossy. That's not.
Yeah.
So what else? I have some stuff that I've been collecting slowly for about the last 3 weeks. Have one more item coming in. It's all part of a quote unquote set. They're all related. I'll talk about those next week. But I just got a bunch of crap that I missed last week since I wasn't on. Regal Uniforms, Cobra Commander. This was in my hands for about 3 days before I got the shipping notification on it. Yeah, from
I
Pulse.
almost wish I would have gone for one of those, but like, I don't need to get into that.
No.
Corden and Spin Out. I think I was early on these last week. Of course, I wasn't here, so.
Yeah, my set came in this week also, but my spin out has some paint splatter.
I don't have any paint issues, and damn, they are pretty.
Yeah, no, it's nice to see a set of that mold where all the colors match.
Yeah, yes, and they do match. Thunder Howl. So my last piece of McAdam. I have no idea where the other parts though. So he's staying in the box until I can find him.
Figure it out. Yeah.
Let's see here. Netflix toys I found. I think Triplet picked me up. Soundwave, and I think a Bumblebee and an Alita one. I found 4 of the 5 deluxes today, so I'm going to have a couple duplicates, which I'm fine with. Impactor, Wheeljack.
He's got a very sad face.
Impactor,
What,
he's
Impactor?
yeah, he's
Yeah.
dead. So
I mean, that's the standard face the thing came with.
Yeah.
It's like the regular.
Yeah, that's
Siege
what
one.
Siege was all about.
yeah,
Brownie face.
brownie face. Wheeljack. Yeah. Alita one. I really like the paint apps on her. I think or at least the paint on her. I think look nice. As far as this mold goes, I'm actually surprised that they used it a little bit, but I think she looks good. And
Quick aside, the new hot upgrade kit on eBay now is for that mold.
Really?
There's an RC
Okay.
version, but not an Alita yet.
what's the upgrade?
They fill in the legs, so on the back side of the
Yeah.
legs, they fill that in, so
Yeah.
it's rounded and
Yeah.
it's shaped again, and then there's a complete replacement for the backpack.
Oh, well, the front of the character looks fine. The backpack does not match the animation at all, so replacing the backpack probably wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
you
somebody
look
made
back
the
on it
comment when I
again, though.
shared it that it turned the toy. It kind of like it took the toy and turned it from a transformer into an action figure. And my counter argument was the toy already did that. So
Yeah. So I forgot in transforming this Bumblebee how much I loved Earthrise Cliffjumper. So he's still tiny, but dang, I think he's pretty great. I'm very pleased with it.
It is probably the best version of the mold.
Yeah. Let's see here. I got my Selects G2 Megatron and my Selects. I can't wait to get the actually Funbee Studios, I think, did a 3D printable attachment where you can put the cannon on the shoulder. I just need to get my 3D printer back up and running. Actually, I've never gotten this one running, so I need to get it running.
yeah, those things go for $7 on eBay, by the way. Just FYI.
Just $7.
Yeah, the connector.
The orange one that looks like in tank mode. It looks like a missile.
I'll just get that.
Yeah, I might look into that too.
Yes, G2 Sandstorm, which I just love that Selects is giving us a G2 Sandstorm, and I love the I love this mold anyway. The Seeker mold from Earthrise, so I will take whatever they want to produce in that mold. G2 Ramjet soon, please.
We're probably getting that in 21.
Yes, I need it. Just a few more things. Let's see here. What is this? Hades Megatron. I got this a couple weeks ago, and I haven't mentioned it. Oops. He's shiny. I'm probably never taking it out of the box.
You coward.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to do it. It's really pretty, and I have no desire to transform it, so he is probably staying in the box. Let's see here. What else? I got a couple of these. I don't know why, but Breakdown and Air Viacon. One of them I opened. It's a lot of plastic for the price. Couple more things. Almost done. Let's see here. Don sent me the Zerax and Zork set from Ninja Turtles. Thank you.
Triceraton.
Yeah. I got a sealed copy of the cassette version, not the record version, of When Continents Collide. Yeah. So it just random things I want to collect. I'm like, I should start collecting those because I'm going to die at some point. So, so I found that wasn't that expensive.
You're welcome, Kim. When you have to list that on eBay.
So what? The goal is now to have the most interesting estate sale possible.
Yeah, I think so.
I've heard of worse goals, honestly.
Yeah.
I guess.
Megatron from Transformers: The Ride 3D. So it's the Universal Studios Megatron.
What's the difference?
It's more gray and silver.
Yeah.
It's the Dark of the Moon mold, but it's not Dark of the Moon colors.
Nope. Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
It's based specifically on the mascot costume that walks around Transformers: The Ride at Universal.
And something I will never assemble, the Flame Toys Bug Bite model kit. So, yeah, that was like their exclusive for Black Friday or something. I don't know. New York Comic Con. New York Comic Con didn't happen. I ordered it during New York Comic Con and thought it was going to be ready to ship because, it's an exclusive for New York Comic Con, but it shipped 2 months later. So,
exclusive pre-orders.
More than 2.5 months later. So, there you have it. That's what I got. I just want to get out of the way. Thank you. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
I've only got one thing. Okay.
No, go ahead, Rob. You only got one thing.
Okay, yeah, this hopefully won't take too long. But yeah, I got last week, Bluefin had a flash sale on the Robot Spirits anime Perfect Gundam, which is basically it's an upgraded version of the original Gundam. Has a bunch of extra armor and weapons. Conceptually, that's what it is. All the packaging for the toy, all the images on the sale page just showed it in the Perfect Gundam form. So I paid $35 plus shipping for the thing, about $50 shipped, which for Robot Spirits is not bad. And I get it here and open it up, and it is actually an original Gundam with a full set of upgrade armor. There is a tiny picture of a standard Gundam on the back of the box, and that is the only indication anywhere that is what you get from this set. And that is a shame because it is a really nice figure. It's really just fantastic articulation. The armor, I'm having a little bit of trouble keeping a couple of key pieces on, but I can probably work with that. And even if I can't, it was actually significantly cheaper than getting the standard Gundam in pretty much any other version of this figure. So that's That was, that was money well spent. But man, Bluefin, work on your advertising, because I was on the fence about whether or not to get this, and I would not even have hesitated if I'd known what it actually is. And that's
We'll probably put me over the fence too.
yeah, that is the entirety of what I have gotten this week.
Diecast.
All right, so I got all the Netflix figures.
From your Walmart pre-orders?
What's that?
From your
No,
Walmart
no,
pre-orders?
not from pre-orders. No.
God, don't be-
Including Soundwave, which I really, really like.
Show the back.
Soundwave.
Show the back of it, please.
Yeah, here's the back.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would like it this much.
That's not that bad.
No, his arms stick out kind of far, but it's not bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chris
It's
has them.
not bad looking.
It's not explicitly a robot.
I don't know why I like this so much. I really do. He's great. I can't complain. But yeah, I got all the Netflix figures. Thanks to my friend Rob, who picked a lot of them up at the stores, because shipping is, most of the stuff gets canceled on me from Walmart, and I never get it. Bumblebee's great. His yellow doesn't match on the doors, but other than that, he's pretty good. I don't know why I got this. I got the
Oh God.
Optimus Prime pop because I don't know why.
Here's the thing. Like, I have not been able. I hate pops. I've been able to avoid buying most of the Super 7 stuff, the reaction figures. So if I can avoid the reaction figures, I sure as hell can avoid the pops. What I just hope is they don't produce something that will scratch an itch that I'll have to buy.
Well, Brian, if I can turn down Tailspin Pops because of those dead soulless eyes, you should be okay. Because
Like if they did a blaster and called it Billy, like, I would have to buy that.
Prime actually looks kind of angry, which is
Because he's a pop. I'd be
interesting.
angry too.
But you know the drawing, the helmet is kind of flat above the eyes, and the actual product, it actually curves, which gives him this angry kind of look, which I actually appreciate. It's different.
The guy, the people at Funko are geniuses. I am not, they make the easiest product to make. They sell bajillions of them, and they even sell accessories to protect the crappy toys that they sell. Hasbro should get into that business of
They
selling.
tried. They called it Mighty Mugs.
No. Hasbro should get into the business of selling accessories to protect their toys.
Oh.
Then I also got this came yesterday, the Regal Cobra Commander. I love the colors, so I'm pretty happy with it. I think he's great. And then the last thing I've got showed up from Amazon. It was scheduled for February. And you know how on Amazon sometimes it goes oh, your item might be shipping in a couple days. This just shipped. So I didn't have time to stop it. But I got Paleo Trex,
Oh, okay.
which, I ordered all the deluxes at the same time. This is the only one that shipped.
I was surprised that Big Bad was shipping those out. So Triplet and a bunch of other folks got all the deluxes in, which I'm happy about because they're good toys.
Yeah. So I was kind of shocked that this just showed up, but I didn't get any of the other deluxes. So this is the only deluxe that I have so far.
Cool. What else?
Other than the other ones that shipped a month ago from Entertainment Earth, the case of 4 that has not shown up from the post office yet. And then I got all the other things that you were all actually talking about too, like Cordon Spin Out or the red and the white.
Yeah, that's them.
Yeah, but That's it.
Cool. Don, what'd you get?
As he waits for the unmute to kick in.
Sorry,
Don.
I didn't get very much. John, can I mention what I got since I got you the same thing, or would you rather not?
Yes, you can. In fact, please do.
Okay. I went to Target today, and on the shelf there were 2 NECA cranks. So I got one for John because he got me something, and which would be my next thing. And I figured I don't have any of the other turtle figures. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. But dear God, that crane has so much stuff for $35. It's sculpted well. There's tons of accessories. The crane looks good. It's a really well done figure, and it's like it'll be the only thing I have for turtles until they do maybe an Usagi. I would probably try to get a NECA Usagi if they do that. But other than that, the only other thing I got was thanks to John. I got Earthrise Thrust. He found an extra for me, and I do appreciate that, John. Thank you very much. Other than that, Target and Walmart locally are a desolate wasteland, but I can get anybody a Studio Series. Yeah, I can get anybody a Studio Series Jetfire if you need one. My local Target restocked 3 of those in the past couple days.
Where's the thrust?
And
show that off.
It's not within reach.
Oh,
That was bad planning.
I'm going to be going out of town tomorrow for about a week and a half, and
so we know to go break into Don's house.
oh,
in the
yeah,
next few
Oh
days.
yeah.
no.
He has a
I called dibs on his overlord
He has a crank
Well-
and a thrust. So
and an
Don,
overlord.
Well, the security system is, that.
No, you're taking the cat with you.
Don, you live in the middle of nowhere. We'll get in and out of there before the cops show up.
Okay. Anyway, but no, I'm taking some stuff to work on my backlog. But again, John, thank you for the thrust. I really appreciate that.
Yes, phrasing. But you're welcome. You're always welcome, Don. I'll go, I guess. So I actually think I have supplied this entire show except Rob. Sorry, Rob. I haven't gotten an extra yet. I'm like one away from at least offering as an option. I think I've supplied and shipped everybody on the show a thrust.
Mine's coming tomorrow.
Yeah. So for some reason, luckily, the Dallas area was like restocking them, like 1 or 2 every day for 4 or 5 days straight, at least in my area. So while I was hunting Krang and NECA Krang and the new Splinter Baxter Stockman 2-pack, I was also jumping over to look for thrusts and checking like BrickSeek and the Target app and stuff. And so pretty reliably every morning it would indicate they had some. And so I got lucky several times and anyway, shipped them out. Thrust is, I'm glad to have him. He completes the set. I realize that Dirge and Ramjet are really, really flattering versions of that mold. So they're like big sweeping wings. Just kind of like they're just like the source material here really flatters this Seeker mold. So it looks really good because it adds, like, their big wings add some nice bulk and some flow to their legs. It just kind of works well. And then Thrust by design, he kind of had, his VTOL wings and his rear wings, they're a little bit more choppy. He's a little bit more kind of like pieced together. He doesn't flow like the other two quite as well. Great shade of red/maroon. He looks really good. He doesn't look quite as regal almost as, like, certainly Ramjet looks just really striking in that color scheme, and then the white. And Dirge looks pretty good too. But he completes the set. I like him. He's just he doesn't have quite the flow that the other two in the set have. But also, unfortunately, my steady supply of thrusts has kind of ceased for now. So those targets have stopped stocking them. Anyway, so I had a bit of luck with him. Again, I like him. He's probably in third place of that trio. Not a big deal. Still really good. Got Sandstorm. He's good. He's actually, I think, kind of being like under publicized or talked about or whatnot. Like I especially in jet mode, like he really does have a really nice deco, and that the deco that they put on the cone of the jet, the shark deco or whatnot, is really great. And his shade of tan brown sand is certainly different enough from Ramjet that there's like zero concerns about him being kind of like another kind of desaturated Seeker. He very much is like on his own. Looks good, really good. I got Spin Out and Corden, which we talked about, and then like I said, I was looking for those new NECA releases. So Don got me Krang. I'm still going to look for everybody else for Krangs just because the sport of it.
Thank you so much.
But I did end up actually easily finding the Baxter and the Splinter 2-packs. I've seen 24 of them in the last few days, which is a really good, which is a really good sign. That's unheard of. It's a really good sign, and I'm going to revisit those targets probably the next couple days. Again, just doing my rounds. So I'll be interested to see if there's any left. So if they're still like lasting less than a day, I expect they probably are, but I would rather have them last like basically a full day than like the first 10 minutes of a store opening, which is what NECA tends to do. Like they sell out literally within minutes of being stocked. So we're now up to full cases of Ninja Turtles shipping to Targets, like 6 to 12 being put on the shelf at a time instead of 2. So, like I said, if we go from like things selling out in 10 minutes to things selling out in 10 hours or whatever it takes, that's still like a vast improvement, right? So it goes from being impossible to you got to just know when the rep comes around Target, and you'll probably luck out if you do. So I'll take that at this point. Anyway, I haven't opened Splinter and Baxter yet. But I will say, just from like looking at him, that this is like a tremendous Splinter mold, and this is kind of like Krang, where it's heavily based on the cartoon animation. We never quite have had anything like this, so we've never really had like cartoon Splinter, which is way different from the Playmates original toy and really anything else that they've done with the redesign. We've never had this Splinter, cartoony Splinter, and this looks like a perfect version of him. So I'm really excited about that. And the other thing that I got around to opening, like Brian had, was just all of the Transformer Prime anniversary packs. So again, I'm still really loving the Viacon. Still holds up after all these years. Still a really good troop builder. So I'm really happy about that. And I think that is it for me.
So, John, have you seen that there's shelf tags been found for the 4-pack of In Disguise Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, I've seen it on Twitter, and it looks like
$25 for the set, I think.
Yeah, which is in line with the Comic-Con 4-pack that they had earlier this year.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, that is definitely like a premium price. I mean, they were originally available in 2-packs that were $52, like everything else. Mm-hmm. So that's a bit of a premium. They are reportedly, and based on teases from NECA, they're going to come with disguises.
Yeah.
So like the horrific rubber mask that they wore in the episode that this is modeled after. You can look it up. If you Google,
I assume soft goods trench coats, which is where most of the extra cost is actually going.
Yes, so it's the accessories. So I fully expect that they'll be you'll be able to take that 4-pack and like take the extra accessories off and have basically standard turtles, like it's designed to catch people up. Yeah, or you can put the clothes on. So it's gonna be something that if you already have the 4 turtles, it might interest you. Probably interest you, and then if you don't have them, obviously you're going to want it, and they're not going to be gimmicked up where you can't just have 4 regular turtles. So I get it. We haven't seen the packaging or anything like that, so it might be one of those things that just kind of drops unexpectedly, like Krang, Baxter, and Splinter, which dropped like 3 months early. So
which is why I'm mentioning it, because like the shelf tags are out there now, and so it can't be that long before those just start popping up somewhere.
Yeah, you would think. And apparently it's a lot like Kingdom is now just kind of like shipping here and there, no matter what. So, yeah, who knows? Supply chain is fun.
Supply chain is fun.
Matt, I think you are still up before me.
So I got Sandstorm today. It only took 21 days, but since the shipping label was printed.
Womp
But yeah,
womp.
Wow.
but I love him. I don't think there's anything I can add that hasn't already been said about it. I managed to find a Netflix Bumblebee last week,
Nice.
and
Hooray.
I mean, yeah, I really like the mold. I mean, it's just like Cliff Jumper. The part of the car still comes off as a backpack, which I'm not thrilled about, but yeah, I still like it.
It costs less than the masterpiece. So,
And it's virtually the same size.
yes. So sacrifices were made.
And I didn't really like Lifeline all that much, so of course I bought Elita 1. But I mean, the colors look good on it. That face sculpt is really, really good. I like it. And you take the half of the backpack off, and she makes a fine action figure. So that's the Transformer stuff I got. I also picked up a Mega Constructs Masters of the Universe Panther and Point Dread.
Sorry, Point Dread, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, I got that too. Where's it at? Somewhere.
Yeah, those are down to like $40 on Amazon right now.
Nah.
GFRadio.net/Amazon.
And of course, some Power Ranger stuff. I got a couple Lord Zed putties,
As you do.
as you do, and Dino Thunder Red. He comes with his staff, which is sadly does not hinge, so no Z-Rex blaster for the Dino Thunder team. And I got Mighty Morphin Green. And I got another pack of Psycho Rangers from Amazon when they were on lightning sale.
How much were they
because-
on the lightning sale?
Down to like $70, I saw.
Cheaper than that. I think it was like 65.
I was kicking
nice.
myself because I was like, I bought them. I should have waited.
It was like 35% off. But yeah, I got another set so I can do fun things with paint, like Psycho Christmas.
Nice.
So, how many Tommies is that now, Matt? So far, I've lost count.
Oh,
That's a good
Tommy!
question.
Mighty Morphin White's got 2 releases. Regular Green Ranger and Fighting Spirit Green Ranger, and Zia Ranger 5. So we've still
There's
got.
still at least 2 more they can. Oh, don't forget all the Lord Dracons.
Oh, I did forget both Lord Drakons. So yeah,
Is
we
there
still
only 2 so far? I thought we had at least 3.
Didn't we get?
no. They did version 1 and version 3.
Okay.
Didn't we get Dino Thunder Black? Or am I thinking of
You're
Legacy?
thinking of Legacy. No, we can still get a Red Turbo and a Dino Thunder Black, and God knows what else they can come up with. And the one figure that from Lightning Collection that I swore I would not buy, I of course bought metallic armor Catherine, and I bought it specifically because it comes with her section of the Zeo crystal.
Oh.
Yes, I am that stupid. Hasbro, take note.
Matt, you may have missed this when it came up on the show before. I'm going to buy that Cyberverse Deluxe Starscream specifically for its missile launch blast effect. So that's for price for price and plastic for plastic. That's exactly the same thing as you just did with that Zeo crystal.
Does that missile effect glow in the dark? Because the Zeo crystal does.
Oh, that's so great.
I just want to say, as an outsider to Power Rangers, it's awesome that you bought an action figure named Catherine. She's just like this powered up like superhero, and then she just has this perfectly normal name. I love it.
Well, they all have basically normal names.
Well, that's the fun though. Like we're talking about like Splinter and Optimus Prime and Rabbit, Samurai, and Matt bought Catherine.
If you want to get technical, she's Mighty Morphin Metallic Pink Ranger.
Okay, Matt. Here's the big question: If they do the rest of Mighty Morphin Glitter Armor, will you buy the sets?
If they come with Zeo crystals, he will.
If they come with the Zeo crystals, yeah. Yes, we've got 4 more subsections and a completed Zeo crystal they can do, so that's 5 more Rangers. That'll complete the set. Not to mention an Aisha head, which you're not going to get any other way, and hopefully a better Rocky head, because the one that came on Zeo Ranger 3 is terrible.
So there you go.
Yeah, and that's it for me this week.
I guess that means it's my turn.
Yes, sir.
And because Brian made me go last, I'm going to save the thing he wants to hear me talk about for last.
Okay.
So I'm going to start off small. I got some non-F stuff over the last couple weeks. So this incredibly toxic-looking parts tree here is a spoiler upgrade for G2 Sideswipe. In a green that's as close of a match as possible to what he already did for the shoulder launcher for G2 Sideswipe. It's all based on the green the original G2 Sideswipe toy had, but this was something I actually suggested to him on Twitter to make this color specifically. He probably was planning to already, but I'm going to take credit for that as long as I can. So I had to get one of those. That G2 Sideswipe is nice, but it really needs a hit of that green from the original toy in there somewhere, because that's something that the deco on the updated one was completely lacking. In the same order with that, I got these, which are... Let me try to get them out of the glare here. So these are upgrades for the Siege and Earthrise Datsuns. This is a set for Prowl and Barricade specifically. It's shoulder launchers and a replacement rifle for each. They're made to work with the Siege and Earthrise versions of the molds. Obviously, these are all going to be reserved for the Earthrise ones, including Barricade whenever that set comes out. I don't technically need the rifle upgrades, but since breakability has been a thing on the official ones, like having some spares around doesn't hurt.
Is there any word on him doing a spoiler set for Tiger Track yet?
I think that's off the table because of color match problems.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible that might get revisited at some later point, but if that's something you want, you probably should just grab one of the I think he's got like a white spoiler set, so you probably get like that one and then just paint match it yourself if you want to add the spoiler, because I don't think there's going to be plastic colors one. So the Barricade set I wanted to get specifically to add the like bronzy kind of copper color into that, because that's also kind of lacking in the official deco for both of those toys. So the next order is basically 2 sets of the same thing in different colors. So these are so he made 2 sets of Datsun upgrade parts. The rifle and the little shoulder launchers are the Type A kits, and the Type B kits are larger shoulder rocket launchers and missiles and rifle. So this is going to be for this launcher set is for Prowl. It's in black, and I got a white missile set for that. And then for Blue Streak, I got a red launcher and gray missiles and rifle. So once I actually get all these out and start putting them together, I'll have my Datsuns all kitted up to be some horrible mismatch of toy and cartoon looks. Because that's just how I roll. So that's been that for the last couple weeks. As I held up earlier, I have Netflix Soundwave thanks to Ness from our Discord and Patreon and Twitter. He was able to find me one of these last week and mailed out same day. Really nice turnaround service on that. This is a lot nicer than Siege Soundwave, which is not really any surprise because we've been talking about that being the case for at least 2 weeks now. I'm surprised how well the mini cassette recorder mode came out, even with the kind of prominent depth to the back of it. Nothing's going to be as good as the G1 Soundwave just because the parts have to work differently, more articulation and everything. But like this is really good. The only problem really is be it Ravage or Laserbeak, if I put either cassette in the chest, the eject button stops working. Like the mechanism can't move and release the door with a cassette in the tape deck.
Now, see, I don't have
So
that
that
problem
kind of-
at all.
I had that problem. I've got this problem with this one, and I had that problem with Siege Soundwave as well. So something just does not work right having those in there.
Because mine, I don't know if you can see. Whoop! It actually
Well,
launched the
yeah, you got the
cassette
eject.
out.
You definitely got the eject part right, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, he just.
Let me. I've got.
Whoop.
Let me quickly put Laserbeak back in cassette mode, and I can try to show you how mine doesn't work.
It is
I mean,
crazy how
it's-
small he is when he goes into that mode.
Oh yeah, it really compresses down. Okay, so I'm pushing the button. Well, the door opened this time, but Laserbeak doesn't fly out.
Yeah, mine
Oh, hey!
Laserbeak flies out. It's
Okay, I
great.
swear to you, that has not worked before today. Well, okay. Color me a liar. So I also got all of Wave 1 Deluxe Kingdom.
Oh, nice.
So I'm gonna say Cheetor is kind of the loser of the batch.
Yeah, agree.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, so Cheetor has a few problems, one of which is this yellow plastic they've made most of it out of seems to be relatively fragile because one tab already broke off the first time I tried to transform it, and there are stress marks all over the place at the other moving joint parts.
Oh no.
So that's not a good start. No, I like some of what they were trying to do with the engineering, but it's definitely not a great result overall. And like the colors bug me too, because like the blue is this really light, like it's not even a sky blue, it's lighter than that, which is not really correct for Cheetor at all. The colors need tweaked, the tabs need reinforced or something. Fortunately, the tab that broke is not in a place where it's critical to have a tab. It's at the base of the neck here, so theoretically it would help to hold the cheetah head in place, but when you have it all transformed properly in beast mode, it just kind of sits there fine on its own anyway. I like some of what it's doing, but it definitely is the weakest entry into this assortment. That being said, it's certainly miles ahead of 2008 Universe Cheetor. Not that that's difficult. I also have all
But in
these
Don's book, nothing will be better than Ultimate Cheetor.
Supreme Cheetor, but yeah.
Supreme Cheetor.
Yeah, got to get it right. All this stuff is in alternate mode because I was transforming most of it during pre-show, and I don't feel like transforming it back. So when I saw Masterpiece Black Arachnia, those first pictures from one of the toy shows, I figured, okay, that's probably the best Black Arachnia figure that's accurate to the show that we're likely to ever get. No, actually, it's this. Because this actually also has a decent spider mode, too.
It's great.
Like, Black Arachnia is surprisingly small overall. And if you look at this from a perspective of they're trying to keep scale more or less with how they appear in the show, that kind of tracks. But like we talked about with Studio Series Hot Rod, paying for a Voyager and getting such a smaller toy, this feels a lot more shockingly disparate from the price point than that did to me. But there's a lot of complexity built into this. I probably spent the longest time trying to figure out how to get this to actually fully transform into spider mode. The spider legs all articulate at the middle joint. They are basically fixed at the base. The whole thing will hinge in and out like that. But if there was a little bit more parts count to play with, I would have liked to see the legs articulated at both ends. Because like just thinking, the last like pre-transmetal Black Arachnia toy we got was based on the animated mold, and that had at least some of its spider legs fully articulated because they did double duty for the robot mode. Also, I would say this is about half the size of that toy overall.
Wow.
But like for something that is show accurate to the mainframe model and can transform, which, think back, those of us who have been around long enough, think back to the late 1990s and how we thought it would be impossible for that to ever be a thing at any level. And we've gotten two of them in less than 2 years that do that to varying degrees of success. Like, it's really impressive to me that we're at this point. It's something I never imagined would have been possible. And the likeness in robot mode is fantastic.
So,
Like, I'm super impressed with that.
so you said you took the longest time to transform that one. Was it? Were you trying to intuit your way through, or?
Even with the instructions, I was having trouble. Like, every time I start with something, I try to do it intuitively. Because a lot of times the stuff will make enough sense, I can work out the parts that aren't immediately clear.
Yeah.
With this, it was very difficult, even with the instructions, because one of the key steps was not really clearly laid out, even in the instructions, which was the robot's pelvis has to be rotated 90 degrees from the robot mode orientation. And I might have been overlooking it every time I went through the instructions, but that did not seem to be clearly indicated to do that.
But when you do that step and it all clicks together, she's very solid in spider mode. It's incredibly impressive.
This is really good. If it wasn't for the lower legs of the robot needing to be the yellowish gold, if I can actually get a good angle here, like, you would barely be able to tell there's a robot balled up in the abdomen of the spider. It would be really, really solid, which, again, much, much more than the Masterpiece can say.
Yeah. And I really like the Masterpiece, but that's like Masterpiece Plus, and it's like $20.
It needs a little bit more paint than it has. For show accuracy, the legs should be orange and not black, and the feelers around the head should be striped.
If there's a Kingdom version for Netflix, they'll probably correct that.
Quite possibly, yeah. And when one of the pre-release video reviews came out, there was an extra front of the head. So, like, they've got something built in here to do a reuse of this mold.
So, are you saying that the pre-release? Are you saying that the pre-release review wasn't necessarily a retail-ready product?
Yes, I'm pretty sure that it was stolen from the factory. In fact,
thank you.
Theft. Oh, I'll mention this too since it fell off. The weapon Black Arachnia comes with is also really accurate to the show, which. The original toys, which is what the show model was based on, like, they did not stray too far from that, and that actually did launch a missile. This is just one solid piece, but like, this is much more accurate to what you see in the show, since they had the benefit of coming back to it after 20 plus years and modeling it as close as they can. Paleo Trex was actually kind of fun to reassemble into dinosaur mode. I did actually need the instructions to figure out where all the parts needed to go, but it made it into kind of a fun puzzle. And I think, one or two more times through, I'll be able to do it from memory. It is a pretty big dinosaur skeleton. Like, here's Soundwave, which admittedly collapses down pretty small, but like, it's a not insubstantial dinosaur skeleton. And it looks really nice, just as nice as Vertebrake looked, except, it's bigger, a little bit more detailed, and more color variety, too, so you can actually see some of the detail more clearly. I will get more fossilizers over time, like duplicate ones, just as the opportunity comes up. I probably will not do it for full price, but, as Amazon discounts and stuff roll through, I'll pick up some extras, because you can never have too many modular skeleton parts to reassemble into abominations.
Agree.
I have not turned Paleo Trex into any weapons yet, but I want to build that like big skeleton sword thing that they kept showing with Optimus Primal, because that looks really cool.
Well, Chris, if the email I just got's any indication, it's going to take a little time, because you saw I just got Paleo Trex from Amazon.
Yeah.
They just emailed me that Cheetor is not expected to ship till April 5th.
Yeah, Ness just put a copy of that in the Discord.
Yeah, so that's weird that the wave mate of the one I just got isn't gonna come for 4 months.
Wonder where I got
that
this
is
from.
Strange.
Yeah, that's weird. So the thing with Amazon getting Paleo Trex, but none of the others, it's almost certainly an instance of Amazon being able to order solid pack cases of individual toys. That was a pilot program they started several years ago with Star Wars and Marvel, mostly for the sake of Diamond, to be able to supply comic book stores and other specialty toy sellers. But like, there's been evidence since that's expanded both into Transformers and into a wider range of retail distributors. So it's almost a for sure thing. Amazon is getting solid individual cases of specific toys, and Paleo Trex is just the first thing that they've gotten and checked into their inventory system so far.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
And-
Cheetor maybe Cheetor is just stuck in a trailer out in the parking lot somewhere, backed up a little bit, and that's why it's not going to be in until April.
Or the bottom
Well-
of the ocean, because we still
Yeah, I
don't
was
know what
wondering about
actually
that.
went to the bottom of the ocean. So
Well, but I think we need to remember that we need to think BBTS and Battle Unicorn for starting the whole case quantity orderable thing. You know, that's the great grandfather of the program, I believe.
I would debate that really having a relation, but that's a conversation for another time, I think. So last up on the deluxes is Warpath. Warpath, I spent the second longest time trying to figure out how to transform, but that's just because
Those
there's a lot
legs.
of weird rotations in the legs. And if you don't get all of that oriented just right, the whole front of the tank will not tab together at all. And then I also found that the extra shield part that comes with is actually necessary to hold the two halves together. The tabs on top are not strong enough to keep them connected. But once you do all that and actually get it, the tank mode is also really solid, and even from the bottom is very clean. Like, they did a good job hiding the robot through the various parts. You know, the one thing I will say with the Kingdom Deluxes is they are definitely all smaller than Earthrise and Siege,
Mhm.
like substantially so for what they're supposed to be. And Warpath is not immune to that. It's not as small as Cliff Jumper, but it's not as big as what we would consider a normal deluxe. So, you know, there's been some downsizing going on going into Kingdom. But Warpath does feel pretty substantial in hand. It's probably the beefiest of the deluxes in this wave. Paleo Trex is bigger in alt mode than any of them, but it's, you know, a spindly, bony kind of. It's tall and lanky more than it is like you know, thick and chunky.
Hey, Chris, on Warpath, I watched a video review of him. There's a white peg on his left arm that just sticks out. Does it do anything, or is it there for a reason?
Do you mean that maybe?
Yeah, that.
That's just one of the 3mm posts to put a blast effect on.
Oh, okay, all right. I was, because I didn't see anything else from the video that was anywhere else, so I thought it was maybe.
Yeah. So
I
okay.
didn't know what that was.
The tracks and the armor on top. That's all the arms and legs, and those parts are all cast in white. So all this brick red is painted, and they just did not paint the blast effect hard point because, you know, the paint would rub off of it. So that's why there is an apparently errant white peg on the red limb when it's in robot mode. But it's not anything out of the ordinary. Okay, and then finally we'll get to what Kilby was wanting to hear me talk about, which is Cyclonus. So Cyclonus is very much the 2008 toy, but turned up to like 10.5. Not quite 11, but 10.5. You know, it's bigger, it's more substantial, it's a little bit cleaner underneath in jet mode. The original Universe toy like had more underhang from the legs. This really is able to streamline more of it because it's got more parts count and moving elements to work with. But, you know, it's a bigger version of that. It's got bicep swivels, which the original sorely lacked. And the only thing it's really missing in comparison is it doesn't have a target master.
Yeah, he needs Nightstick.
But there's no reason you can't give a Universe Nightstick to the Cyclonus. Like, there's enough clearance around the wrists for that to work. And also, as I was playing around with it this afternoon, if you leave the arms as the engines in robot mode, it basically looks like he's got a Mega Buster on his arm. So you can also just play with that. If you jam the Matrix Glow effect from Studio Series Hot Rod in there too, it looks like he's charging up a charge shot. So it's basically a
That's
perfect
cute.
thing if you just combine a few toys. Go
Chris,
ahead.
does that Cyclonus have the hidden feature of maybe attaching a Battle Master to the end of the arm, like Japanese target masters?
The only way that would be possible to work is if the Battle Master had a 5mm peg coming off the back of it, because these are 5mm ports. But otherwise, no, you wouldn't be able to do that. Now, I don't think any Battle Masters are built like that. You could stick what's its name, Lionizer in like that, probably. Yeah. So, like, if you have him have a sword sticking out of his wrist, that would work. Otherwise, you would probably need to have someone make some kind of an adapter to take the normal position handle on a Battle Master and offset to the back. Actually, Nanif makes something like that, which I have a set of here. These are in clear because the opaque ones sold out, but they're 5mm 90-degree adapters. And you probably could do exactly that. Do I have a Battle Master over here? We can try this live, maybe. If not, I can go get one from across the room. No, here we go. Okay, so I've got, this is Trenchfoot, I think, from G2 Sideswipe. Let's get one of these out. I'm not going to transform Cyclonus back into robot mode for this because that would take a minute, but I can do this pretty quickly. Let's see. Well, as quickly as I can remember how to actually get this back into gun mode. Okay, so slide that on here, maybe from this side. That's a little bit of a tight fit. Okay, so I've got the adapter on, and yeah, so like, sort of. Like, it's not perfect by any means. If there's going to be like a purpose designed thing for this, I think it would be a little bit better. But, you know, with a little bit of work on this, you can kind of get that effect. I probably would just as soon have him, you know, hold the Battle Master normally. But yeah, Cyclonus is really good. I don't know that I would call it best of line so far, like Kilby and a couple others have. But it is really good, really solid. It's substantial. The jet mode feels really big.
The transformation.
The robot mode's really big. The transformation is actually almost weird. Like, you're twisting and turning all these things in the torso in different ways, and a lot of it feels like, okay, you're going to turn this piece this way and then turn this other piece next to it the other way, just because we want it to be a little bit different when, you know, it could just like all unfold in a straight line.
It feels to me like it just really unfolds in a very intuitive, pleasant way.
Oh, it's definitely intuitive. I did not have to look at the instructions at all with this. You know, the progression of steps feels very natural, but it also feels like there's like flourish a little bit in it too, because there are definitely elements that feel like, okay, we're going to add a little bit more to this just because we can, not because it necessarily needs to work this way.
Yeah, I can see that.
In particular, extending out the whole nose cone section feels that way to me, because like, that's on the smaller universe toy, that's a very simple unfolding process. It has like the same number of segments, I believe, but this does it in like 3 times as many steps with like, you know, going backward and forward on the direction of the parts a few times. And then getting the actual like needle tip of the nose cone out was actually a little bit challenging. There's not really a good way to get purchase on it to pull it out. So that took a little bit of wrestling too. But no, I mean, the whole thing actually is very elegant when it comes down to it. The only thing someone might interpret as a flaw is that these panels of the fuselage don't quite fit flush down to where the nose cone starts. But like, they sit out from the body the same amount on each side, so they're symmetrical, and I kind of think it actually might be intended to have that degree of separation just to kind of delineate the back end of the jet from where the nose kind of tapers off. So that doesn't even really bother me that much when it comes down to it, because it actually kind of looks like it's on purpose. Yeah, I'm happy with it. The only thing that might make it a little bit better is if the canopy could open and there's a little, unremovable Galvatron slug sitting in there, just for effect. But that's just kind of blue skying. No, it's good. I'm really happy with it, and GameStop didn't give me the express shipping I paid for, so I could have had it, a few days earlier if they would have done that properly. But still got in time for showtime, and hopefully in another week or so, probably 2 weeks, I'll have Leader Megatron also from GameStop, because that went up just this afternoon for order. So we'll see how that goes. But I believe that is all I got this week. That's all the stuff I have on the little table next to me, which is where I put stuff I'm trying to remember. I got the Coordinate spin-out set, like I mentioned before, but that's not particularly worth showing off because the spin-out has paint defects, and I haven't actually taken Coordinate out of the box yet. So
yeah. So Blade in the chat said that he's thinking about skipping Kingdom Warpath. I don't know. I think Kingdom Warpath is my favorite Warpath that's come out. I like, from a likeness perspective, I like the transformation, the turret swivels. Yeah, he's smaller, but just if your goal is to have a, quote unquote G1, or characters toys that have that are likenesses of the characters that you love. I mean, he far and away looks more like Warpath and Kingdom than the Generations figure.
well, I mean, there is a third option that you're not considering too.
The Legends figure.
No, Combiner Wars.
Shoot, I forget there's a Combiner Wars toy.
Yeah, it was a repaint of Megatron.
Yeah.
No, so like, if you want to keep a version of the Generations Warpath mold in your collection, but you don't want to have two Warpaths, like there is the Collectors Club Tread Shot, which was made from that Warpath.
And that's beautiful too.
Yeah, I have that somewhere.
It's great. That's a great toy.
And Brad,
so that's certainly an option.
there is a fourth option. The Final Victory third-party company made a
That doesn't count.
I'm just saying it's an option.
No, it's not.
Did they make
Anyway,
plastic scale?
It's roughly classics, yeah. But it's kind of a beefy little figure, and you get it for about $40. It's really a pretty good masterpiece mini bot.
Okay, but the operative word there is masterpiece, which means it's not classic scale.
Yeah.
Plus,
I thought you meant.
I'd rather put the $40 toward getting that tread shot. For instance.
Tread shot's nice.
Because just besides the whole have that version of that Warpath mold in your collection, there's not really another modern representation of that character. It's either that or the Action Master original. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
Did Fun Pub also repaint that as Strika?
Yes, in the Machine Wars set. I actually want to have that.
I need to go back and get that set. Wait, do I have
There's
that
a
set?
lot of things I wish I could.
And Blast Charge too. That was the class.
Oh yeah.
version.
So they did it as custom class, and didn't they also? They did an unpainted one as custom class, but I also thought they did that as a attendee freebie, a finished one maybe.
Maybe.
I might be misremembering.
It's fuzzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the strike is definitely the more striking. Damn it, of the options.
Hey, let's see here. Let's go ahead and thank our patrons to Touch Tier: Kevin Dorsey, Peter Giannakopoulos, Sean Bratton, Jacob Owen Lucia, Jason W. Rye, Sean Hamilton, Mike Mallory, Jason Hiley, Jonathan James, Hector Bones, Nathan Sampy, Spider Bob, Rabbits, Emmett Stresovich, Gaming Fix, Joey Russell, Ryan Bona, and Ness. I thank you guys so much. If you are interested in being on Hot 5 and you're not now, just give me a yell and we'll talk about it. It's a lot of fun. You, like Chris pointed out before, you can also, buy stuff on Amazon. tfradio.net/Amazon. Every little bit
And
helps.
we're at Point Dread,
Yes,
$40.
$40.
Oh, also the Combiner Wars Devastator reissue.
Oh yeah, tfradio.net/New Devi, I think.
I think. I want to double check that.
Yeah, I think Devastator actually works since it's the same link as the old toy.
Just when you go there, make sure you know what you're pre-ordering is the $149.99
Yeah.
fulfilled by Amazon version, because if pre-orders for that become unavailable temporarily, it'll revert to one of the marketplace
Yeah.
sellers, which are much more expensive.
Yeah, so tfradio.net/Devastator, our link from 2015 still works. So just use that. TF Radio,
Either one.
Yeah, tfradio.net/Devastator. And it comes out January 15th. Is that going to happen?
I was going to say, it comes out January 15th until January 14th when Amazon realizes they haven't gotten them yet and they push it back.
Yeah. Well, lately they've been
Or-
pushing stuff
or
back day off.
It'll come out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or it'll come out tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So much appreciated. Let's see here. You can find Rob Springer, who's not here, on Twitter at RoboRobSpringer, at zonebase.org. I'm on Twitter at BKilby, Instagram at Brian Kilby. And my Christmas album, brand new, Missing You This Christmas, is available for download at briankilby.com. Just click on My Music. Actually, if you're looking right now, it'll be in the blog feed. You can just download it there. It's on the sidebar. I make it easy to get, and it's free. In fact, all 5 of my Christmas albums, totally free.
Are you going to do a box set someday?
I should.
Yeah, you should.
So,
You know, when I was plugging your stuff on last week's show and I got around to mentioning that, we came up with a show title candidate,
I missed it. Yeah.
Brian Kilby's Threadertainment LLC. I didn't think you'd actually want to use either of those show titles, which is why I didn't forward them to you in email.
Yeah,
But I did want to mention it.
You'll have to do a complete box set because there's really no way to differentiate a greatest hits compilation.
No, actually, I thought of as a joke doing a greatest hits compilation, which is just every single track from all the albums. And actually, another thing, because here's the thing, I have to use public domain songs.
Right.
I do have multiple tracks for them, so at least they're different. I thought about doing an album that is just different renditions of, say, like Jingle Bells, or
Okay, so could you find a bunch of public domain non-Christmas songs and just start doing, now that's what I call Kilby volume,
I absolutely.
etc.
So I have gotten to the point where, like, if I do an original song, sometimes I'll take a non-Christmas public domain song and convert it over. So yeah. So
Also, that could be the title for this week's episode. Now that's what I call Kilby volume
yeah,
something.
Volume 1.
Volume 1, yeah.
Started.
So yeah, but this year's album just took longer to get done because of kids stuff, and that the 12 Days of Christmas, it took us about 5 or 6 days to actually pull that one together. It involved multiple people and trying to do a song remotely. Yeah. Thank God.
Oh, but I can imagine.
Thank God for multi-track. I'll just say that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, but I think I was actually really happy with how it came out, and even Kim thought that was funny.
Are you saying having children slows down your personal productivity?
Yes, absolutely.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. So, but you can check that out. John, how do people get a hold of you?
That John D everywhere.
Don.
One day Don will unmute. There we go.
Yeah. I can be reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. But just let everybody know, I will not be on next week. I may be in the chat, but I will not be on the show. Just to let y'all know.
Cool. Don, you can ask us questions and we'll answer them. It's like, at what point did you know that Don was completely insane? It's like the first time I ever heard about him on All Toys Transformers, like in 97, 98, yeah. I read about Don long before I ever met Don.
Same.
I put Don.
I saw Don in Walkie's one of Walkie's webcomics before I ever met Don.
I wrote Don into a fanfic before I ever met Don.
Legend.
Yes.
Hey Don, real quick. So my memory, just in general, like I said earlier, is fuzzy. But so I'm asking you this: do you remember? It doesn't matter what year. Do you remember basically how you stated your Headmaster RC question at any of the panels, any year? Like, do you remember your phrasing of that question? Because if you do, I would really like you to one, write it down so we don't lose it, and then of course two, record it. But I really want to hear how you framed that up to the panel.
You did it every year for years. You could probably
I mean, there wasn't a lot of variation other than please make this figure. And I'm sure at the last BotCon, I know somebody had to have been recording because everybody was waiting for me to ask one final time. So I'm sure it's on video somewhere on the internet because that's what stuff does. It goes out on the internet.
Okay, all I want for Christmas then, fair listeners, all I want for Christmas is somebody to find that, if possible, find on video Don asking that question. Doesn't matter what year, just at BotCon. We need that uploaded and we need a link. So let's make that happen.
It has to be out there. The damn Allspark dance party is on YouTube. If that's there, the Don asking the question in different variations has to be up there. Cool.
What if he asked that panels where recording wasn't allowed for most of the run of BotCon?
Nobody ever asked. Nobody ever said recordings aren't allowed. I recorded the one BotCon I went to, and then I recorded and posted it to the radio podcast. I recorded it. I didn't even ask. I just posted it. Nobody ever said a thing. So, because nobody cared. Yeah, so that was I think that's a newer thing. I'm certain Hasbro, if Hasbro had a panel where they showed off product, yes, they don't want you doing that. But like anything else, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Diecast, how do people get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me on Twitter at Diecast2. You can follow me on Facebook at Reviews by Diecast. And you can see all my reviews at tfradio.net/reviews.
Excellent. Chris?
You can find all of my photography-related work at playwithphotography.com. There's galleries, articles, blog posts about toys sometimes. Today on social media, I shared some photos of Cyclonus, including the Mega Buster configuration I was talking about a few minutes ago. You can find that on Twitter at playwithphotos. I also posted it to my Patreon, patreon.com/playwithphotos. You can join that and support what I'm doing. Throw a couple bucks my way every month and get early access to galleries, credit on gallery intro pages, things like that. And this time of year, it's the Christmas gift you could give that keeps giving all year long, and I'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, on social media, I'm on Instagram at playwithphotography, and personally on Twitter, I'm at ChrisRTXV. I also have an Amazon wishlist at tfradio.net/ChrisList, which happens to have that Panther Point Dread on it for $40. I'm just saying.
Sweet. Rob?
Okay, I'm on Twitter at Figure Reviewers and at Rob Flails. That's the Twitter for Flail Throughs, my YouTube channel. I cover Gundam Battle Operation 2 for the PS4 at the moment. Fun game. They're keeping it updated regularly, doing a bunch of Gundam Sentinel stuff this week, which is a moderately obscure Gundam side story with a bunch of really elaborate mobile suits in it. No idea what we're getting this week, but after this week, there's like good 16 weeks worth of leaks that we just got revealed. So like everything for the next 3 months, we have a pretty good idea of what we're going to see. But to get the full details on the update, check out my youtube.com/flailthroughs every Thursday morning. And if you like what I do there, patreon.com/flailthroughs. You can throw money at me and request specific rounds in return. And also get a full-size look at the thumbnails I make for each video. And if you'd rather just, throw items at me, there's tfradio.net/claylist.
Awesome. Cool. Well, hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.
Okay. Jeez Louise, I'm tired.
Yeah, Don's little trip down memory lane turned that into a pretty long show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But hey, content.
Yeah, on the toy stores.
Mhm.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that all spun off from Diecast.
Oh, what's
Diecast.
it, Diecast?
That
Well,
guy's
yeah,
asked
he
a
asked-
question.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
Diecast
asked
asked the
about
Christmas
trade.
question, then
Christmas
Don turned it into
memories,
the toy store thing,
Yes.
didn't he?
And Diecast didn't actually have a memory. So
I'll
he
do
asked
this
us
to the
about our
charger.
memories, and then he didn't have one. Yeah,
Or
it
he
was on
didn't get a
Ninja Turtles.
chance because we went in the
Yeah.
toy stores.
Yeah. Well, guys, I'm sorry I need to leave.
Yeah, no,
I'm
that's
sorry.
fine, Don. You got stuff
Go
to
get
do.
some
there.
rest.
I think we're all
I am.
Right on.
Y'all guys have a really. Everyone have a great Christmas. Take care, and I'll
too.
see you in the new year.
Okay. Good night.
See you, Don.
See you, Don.
Take care.
Bye, y'all.
Oh, I need to text Kim. She took the kids out for like some sort of.
Just live long enough to ship the Krang.
I'm like, no,
I mean,
no,
I
don't.
hope you have a nice Christmas. That's what I meant.
That Krang is driving me nuts.
If there's one in on my side of Dallas Fort Worth, I will find them. Like I said, I want to win this fight.
And you know what the worst part is? Is they don't even show up on BrickSeek. Like,
No, they're stocked by a rep, so they're not like,
yeah.
Unless Target.com has its own inventory and sells it, and then BrickSeek is moot. You can't really track that
Are
inventory
those sold on-
reliably.
Are they sold on consignment, or are they? So they're not.
So I don't think they have answered it like plainly, but it sure feels like NECA rents that space
I bet they
and
probably are consignment.
and just manages it
Yeah.
because like Target will not touch that merchandise.
Yeah, if they don't show up in on Target.com and Target doesn't stock it, that tells me they're it's like magazines. They're consigngnment.
Yeah, I think
Baseball cards are consignment too, apparently.
they do list them on Target.com, but it's
Market.
obviously it's specific inventory for .com. It comes and goes one time. But at the store level, I think you're right, Brian. I think it's just they're just renting space because, like I said, the Target employees will not touch it. They won't even clean up the area. The rep comes in, grabs the box from the back, does their thing, and leaves.
Yeah,
so they treat it like it's not theirs.
Yeah, my prior company, I think back in the 2000s, early 2000s, I think at the time 30% of our product was inventory consignment. Pardon me, and there was a goal. We wanted to have like 70% of our product consignment because if you don't own the inventory, it's a huge cost savings. So
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's win-win for Target if it is.
Yeah, for sure. We at my old company, we were gonna bid on the readers glasses, those readers for all CVS and Walgreens, and we weren't a big enough company to do it. Yeah, WoW is right because it's the same scenario. Like it's consignment, it's you're responsible for all the sales. Like CVS and Walgreens, they get a few nickels, almost literally for every unit you sell, but it's like
I'm surprised. I figured it'd be more. I figured it was a bigger cut than that.
It's a volume thing, but it's you're selling 1 million every couple weeks, units every couple weeks. But anyway, you have to be a monstrous company to just stock thousands of stores like that.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, that was the because like just Walgreens alone seems like a staggering
Or
number of
CVS.
locations.
Yeah, CVS is a ginormous company.
Yeah, I'm not sure which is actually bigger.
CVS.
Really?
Yeah, CVS is ginormous.
Yeah, we have readers at Walmart or Walmart. Oh, wow.
Well, probably two Walmart.
and they hardly ever move. I'm like, why? I don't know why anyone puts these things in
So-
a store.
So my prior company was the 11th largest retailer in America, and our new CFO came from CVS, and that was technically a demotion for him.
Wow.
Because CVS,
Oh, yeah,
they're,
sure.
I mean, it's a not only a larger company by volume, they're way more locations.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
There are a ton of Walgreens, but there are fewer Walgreens than CVS's.
And apparently they're going to be closing Walgreens, some of the Walgreens down.
Interesting.
Yeah, my big one already closed.
My Walgreens closes like at 6:00. It's weird.
Really?
Yeah, but
Wow.
the old one, my old one was 24/7. But since I moved, the one here closes like at 6 or 7.
Same deal. I wonder if it's a converted rate aid like ours is.
Mine's not. Mine's
Okay.
It was. I just live in a tiny little town.
Both of mine were, and then the big one just closed, and it's only been open for like 2 years.
Jeez.
I'm going to get out of here too, guys. Have a great night.
Later.
Bye, Diecast.
Take care, Diecast.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you
Thank you for being a friend.
Sure.
All right. See you.
All right, Merry Christmas, Diecast. Bye. Yeah, Rob, let me know. There's no sweat on my back, and you may already have like a pre-order and stuff. If you are interested, and Target.com actually does ship my thrusts, just let me know. And then otherwise, I will either return it and just get my money back, or sell it on eBay, or give it to another friend. So I'm just going to probably, I might end up with an extra thrust. So let me know if you're interested in it. If not, no sweat.
Okay. I'm kind of torn because I didn't. Dirge and Ramjet looked to be so much of a hassle. I didn't even bother trying.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of think I may pass just because having just one of them sounds like it would be infuriating.
Yeah,
So-
that would be
Having just
Yeah.
2 of them is infuriating.
irritated. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so just plan on getting Sandstorm and Ramjet when that comes out. GT Ramjet next year.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do.
Cool. All right. I'm also offering just to make sure I cover everybody on the show. Make
Well, I
sure
appreciate it.
everybody had a shot. So cool.
Yes, thank you again, John.
Yeah, you're awesome.
You're welcome.
So
Now it's in the hands of USPS to make sure I
Yeah.
actually get it.
Oh, it'll happen eventually, but
I think after Christmas, stuff will start moving a little bit better.
Well, yeah, when the volume starts dropping.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, by the start of the year, everything should be back to how it was 2 months ago. I don't want to say normal because that wasn't normal still, but
Yeah.
it'll be better than it is now.
yeah,
Well, my Corden and spin out seems to be moving a lot faster than my Sandstorm did, but
Which is
But it's in-
ironic since,
but it's in New
jets
Jersey
versus
now.
cars.
it's in New Jersey now, which was the first roadblock Sandstorm faced. So
yeah. Well, that's their problem, being stuck in New Jersey
Yeah,
for the
Really,
holiday.
coming from
I've been
going to
there.
New
That is a
Jersey.
problem.
the thing I was holding off on talking about till next week. One of them is in Philadelphia. It's been in Philadelphia since the 18th, so 5 days.
Actually, I think my Power Rangers may have been in Washington, D.C. since the 10th, and the last time tracking was updated was the 14th. So I may have you by a day or two, Rob.
Yeah, quite possibly. I just checked on whichever one of the two is coming from Don, and that's been in the state since the 11th, and the tracking has not been updated since the 15th. So
What the thrust that John sent is in Hazlet, Texas.
Oh, really?
It has been since the 21st.
Yeah,
That's
mine's still in Texas
surprising.
as well.
That's the way it goes. It
Yeah.
seems like they hit a DC and then they sit for a week.
Mine
and
sure
then-
moved speedily through.
Well, that's cool. You will get them, but it's like I said, it was like that NECA 2-pack that Don sent me, where I was like, "Oh, that's fun." It's been been in Roanoke for 8 days, and then all of a sudden it just like moved, and 2 days later it was.
That's
here.
all right. At least Don sends you guys your stuff.
What has he not sent from you for you?
Voltron.
Silver Centurion.
Oh yeah, never mind. Wasn't
Well,
Voltron.
eventually, but Silver Centurion Iron Man is the current one.
Okay. Runabout got into Maryland and was last updated on the 17th. So, yeah, it's all there somewhere.
It's all gonna happen. It's all gonna fall into place.
Yes.
Meanwhile, I should have Beast Wars Megatron from GameStop as early as next Wednesday.
Nice.
We'll see how that actually like plays out in practice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. I don't have a shipping notice on mine yet.
There's gonna be a new episode of Discovery tomorrow and next Thursday.
Huh.
Is it a Christmas episode?
No.
Do they celebrate Christmas in Star Trek?
God, I
Not
hope not.
generally.
Has there been a? I'm trying to think if there's been a Christmas.
Well, Star Trek Generations is kind of a Christmas movie because it was Christmas when Picard went to the Nexus.
Oh yeah.
Oh, when his
How about that?
when his brother.
With his family that doesn't exist. Yeah.
Huh. But does that implies that Christmas is still a thing in the next generation?
Why wouldn't it be?
I don't know. It's the
But
future.
they never
There's
show
no
it.
money.
At least in Picard's ideal world, it is.
I mean, Christmas has been around for 1,000 years, 1,500 years.
Well, I
As
don't
far
know
as-
what happens between now and Star Trek.
How long has Christmas been observed as a Christmas, not as any of the precursors? I don't know.
Exactly, Matt. Exactly. I'm just saying, like between here and intergalactic space
Well,
travel, we might drop Christmas. I don't know.
When did the Roman Emperor convert himself to Christianity?
200.
Because it would have been sometime after that he declared that the pagan holiday was now Christmas.
Yeah.
So it would have been sometime after 200, is what I'm saying.
That was just a guess. I don't know off the top of my head.
Blade Raider says there's at least a comic where they fight like Grinches.
That sounds more like a Star Trek the Animated Series kind of thing.
That's a next generation
313.
comic.
313 AD, not 200. So
That's certainly a Christmas tree on that comic book.
That's awesome.
the Edict of Milan.
I'm satisfied. So they
Man, that is a
clearly
cringe,
do
isn't it?
celebrate. I love it.
And that is one buff-ass Picard, too.
God, I need to.
Q also turned the Voyager into a Christmas tree ornament.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, perfect.
I need.
I think that was just to advertise the Hallmark ornament for that year, though.
Jared said at least some 900 years. I feel like it's been more than 900 years, but less. It's not 2000. But we've had some sort of solstice-related celebration, going back thousands of years.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
but
That's unidentifiable compared to what we're doing now.
yeah, I wish there were collections of the DC Star Trek comics. I'd love just randomly finding a stack of those at some place and buying them.
It's not impossible that Dark Horse put one out when they had the Star Trek license, because I know they did omnibus editions of, like, I think even some of the Golden Keys stuff.
That's saying 640-ish years. Gosh, I would have thought that it was longer.
I
than
mean,
that.
if you look at it from the perspective of something that we would recognize as a Christmas celebration,
Yeah.
those numbers make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, people watching live, I want to drop the stream. I need to go check on pets and stuff. So we will see you next week. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. By Twitch. I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube last, since it's the biggest pain in the butt to turn off. By Twitch. By Facebook. By Periscope. And